this is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com, and this evening I'm here tonight to review a continuation gap with you, which is KSS. I have been watching this ever since this baby right here, okay? This was the end of November, okay? It was the 29th, and this was a golden gap, okay? This was a gap. Now, it was very tough to get the day that it actually went, okay? However, it finally set up. It set up late in the afternoon. It set up very late in the afternoon. It's very late for me to even be looking at anything. It didn't set up right away in the morning, but it was good. Okay. So the point was, after it set itself though up in the day and closed into here, I knew it would continue then the way that it properly really should have set up in the morning on the day of the gap. Sometimes they struggle a bit. Now, why did this struggle the day that it did? I think it just got caught just looking at it now in this green bar, okay? The fact is that it was a good gap, and there was nothing wrong with it, but it was difficult on the day that it actually set up, and look what it did. Okay, so it opened first. This is what actually happened. It rallied up to here. Look at how perfect that is. What is this number here? 4718. That is unbelievable. I don't know why I say that. I keep saying that, but every time I say that, I realize how much I love trading, actually. Do you see that guy right there? There. That's what it did. See that? Here, and this guy right here, and this one here. Wow, is that beautiful? Look at that thing. Anyway, so I watched this for continuation gap this whole time in here. We were talking about it in my trading room. And then I read something somewhere, okay, at a different place, a different trading company. And they actually called this as a long. I thought that was terrible. Okay, we actually discussed it in the trading room. I said, please don't buy this. Never buy this. Don't ever think of even buying this anywhere around this vicinity. No way. This is lower. Okay, I did say that. Now, overall, could you have bought this here? Yes. What would you have made on it? 50 cents a dollar? I mean, look at how this isn't buying here. Does everyone see that this is not real buying? First of all, this last bar here is a topping tail with a green body. There's no sizable green body in here whatsoever. In fact, every green body that's here has some kind of tailage to it. There is not one solid green bar here at all in any of this since for the last month. The last solid green bar was here the day that it was wiped out in the gap. So the fact is, this was never a buy. You don't bottom feed and pick bottoms, and it's not even, it makes no sense, okay? Buying support and shorting resistance is not a strategy. And if you trade that way, you must find me and take my class, okay? Because you will eventually lose money doing that. It does not work, okay? You learn how to trade properly based on a strategy, which I teach, which is gaps, okay? And you use support and resistance to assist you in taking your entries and exits and trades and assist you in what you do in reading the chart. But that is not the strategy. And that's not the reason you should ever take a play like this, okay? So the bottom line is, I knew it was lower. Even in here, even after this, 1, 2, 3, we talked about in here, it was 4 days down, I knew it was lower. Now, I knew it would wiggle and jiggle because of this drop, and this drop. But look, did it even go halfway up here through this? No, it didn't, which just gives me even more conviction in the strength and the power of what? The gap, okay? The gap. So the bottom line is, this thing ended up scooping down here then on this day, and then look at this beautiful fall here. This was just today. Look at that thing. And really, this had some of the nicest price patterns and entries all these days. I mean, I know that these red days don't look like much, these two here and these two here. I mean, today looks like a bigger day, and we'll go look at what happened today, but they had beautiful entries, that gave pennies of stops that you could have made moves on them. I mean, they were so nice. This thing moved $1, but the entry was like a couple pennies in it. It was, if you know how to trade it, okay? If you know what to do. And of course, I would have had 100% conviction every day that this set up the way that it set up, because I love the gap and I knew it was lower, and there was no way this was a buy. And I must caution people, when they get information from sources, if they don't know the reason for why the person is doing something, don't do it. Okay, that is the best advice I can give you, which is why I tell people, come to my trading room, join my trading room, but you know what? You've got to take my class. If you take my 2-day gap class, you're going to know why I'm doing something. And you will have conviction in it yourself, and you will know why I'm calling something, and you'll know why I'm doing something, and that will help you do it. Okay, it's really about knowing the reason why you're doing something. That is really where you get to the point where you can press the button with all kinds of sides and do it correctly. All right? Now, first of all, this guy right here today, now the market fell in the morning, which helped this thing, but it basically did a daily sell setup today. It had a nice follow through and continuation, barely booped up here and then dropped all day. All right, so where's the entry on this? Boy, this was so nice. Was this nice? All right, so here it is. Wait, let me go to here. 9:30, because it's a continuation gap and a daily sell setup, you can't enter it normally. You have to wait. Of course, you get this guy in here. By this point, you know it's good. Still have to wait. Can't take this because it's not an entry. I know it's a reversal time in here, but you can't take it anyways. When's the entry? Here. Okay, right here, 9:45 reversal time. And look at that stop. Okay, this trades with a 1-2 penny spread, so you could have put the stop at 51. So it had a 5-cent stop. So 43.46, 43.45, and there it is, $1.10 on the day. And actually, this dropped so nicely, just so nicely in the 11:15. You didn't even have to be concerned about anything at all. I mean, you had no concern about even remotely getting out of it. And also, you would have had huge conviction if you played it with me and in the daily sell setup, and then it was due for a red bar. This was really due for this to happen. This had the big drop. It rested, tried to go here. Should have had a big red day here, but didn't. And I think at the time the market, well, let's go look at it then. I think the market actually didn't. This was very bearish for what the market was doing at the time. Tried to go out higher up here. Tried. Can't do it. Has a gap down this day. The gap doesn't work right in the day, but there wasn't any real reason for the gap. And then look, this happened here. It's a nice continuation. It's really nice. So let's look at this. This is the 11th. Just see here. All right, let's look. Yeah, that's what I thought. The market was not red on the 11th. The market opened, rallied up, and then came in on the day. I remember that because I remember watching it. And there it is. So it should have had a bigger red day that day. It didn't because it was in the opposite of the market, but it did have a nice red day considering the market that day. That's what I thought. Anyways, the lesson to be learned from this is, well, lots of lessons. First of all, good gaps have continuation moves. You can play them on the day as a day trader. You can enter them as swinging core trades, and they continue. They're beautiful. You can keep watching them to play. I do that, and I do that in my trading room. Second of all, if you want to take ideas from letters and, you know, all kinds of things to do trades, and I'm talking about swing trades or core trades or stuff you'd even hold overnight, which is very dangerous if you don't know how to do it, you better make sure that what you're doing is a strategy that you understand and know, okay? And third of all, buying support and shorting resistance is not a strategy. I know some places teach it, but it is incorrect. And in the end, you will lose money if you trade that way. Those are things that you need to know about trading. They are very important. I know some people struggle with resistance. In fact, I could do a whole class on that, and maybe someday I will. But at the end, they are assists to help you in chart reading, to hone your skills. It is not in and of itself a strategy, all right? And here this chart is beautiful, and it's lower. And let me tell you something. It is lower, okay? Let's just look. Oh, well, here's the target. It's going to be down here. 42.14. So it'll get to 40. It's going to break 42, though. Yeah, it's going to break that. It'll break that. It's on here right now. It's going to break that. Let's just see. Look at how beautiful this is. Why would anyone think? Ay. Here's we're going to get down to here. Okay, I don't know when, but this is realistic, probable. I like it right in here. snug in here, okay, in this area here. So it's going to break that 42.14, wherever that was, here. It's going to break that, and it's going to come down in here. See that? All right. So what that other place was trying to do was say, hey, buy in here, because it's going to hold itself. It's going to hold itself in here because it held itself here and here and here. Do you know that when something keeps trying to hold itself up like that, in this formation, okay, this is just in this formation I'm discussing, okay, in this formation I'm discussing, when I see this, and now this is sophistication, this is sophisticated chart reading, all right, right here. When I see this, I do not think that it is going to hold itself up and rally again. I think at this time it is going to break it, okay? Now, this is the kind of stuff that if you want to be a trader and a technical analysis, you have got to get good at reading, okay? You've got to do it, because you will get in trouble if you look at this like regular people and say, because of this green bar here and this rally that happened here and this rally that happened over here and this rally that happened over here, therefore if it comes down here again, it's going to rally again. Why? Why? Okay? Eventually, after something keeps trying to retest something again and again and again, what's going to happen? You think it's going to eventually hold? Well, if it was going to hold, why wouldn't it have held here? And if it was going to hold, why wouldn't it have held here? Here's a higher high. And if it was going to hold, why wouldn't it have held here? Here's another higher high. This is a weekly chart, by the way. This is not even a daily chart. These are weekly bars. Every green bar in here is a week. Here's a week, and here's a week, and here's another week, and here's another week here. Then it came down again. This is another week. All these big green bar weeks that had plenty of chances, plenty of time, plenty of trading, okay, that's going on here. And why do you think that all of a sudden down here it's going to do this and all of a sudden go higher then? Why? Okay, ask yourself that. And take note of this guy right here. Now, this was the week of the gap. Okay, so all this trading was trading, and then it creates this move because it happened on the gap. This is very, very important. Okay, this is why you have to learn how to read gaps. And I don't care what kind of trading you do, you've got to get good at reading gaps. That is the gap that happened. And there was another big one here, another big one here. Okay, lots of big red bars in this chart. Why do you think that all of a sudden down here this is a buy? Why would you even think of buying this? This isn't even in an uptrend. On the weekly chart, this is not in an uptrend. All right, we're quizzing ourselves. Here's a little test. What do you think? What do you think this chart is doing? Do you think this chart is in an uptrend, a downtrend, or sideways? What do you think? Well, I think we can all agree it is not in an uptrend. To me, it's neutral / bearish. Okay, if I had to say anything, I'd say neutral, okay, to be fair. But it's neutral / bearish, really, to me. Yeah, it's neutral / bearish to me. Definitely not a long, definitely not in an uptrend. And remember, we don't pick bottoms. Do not pick bottoms. Don't do it, all right? That's not a reason to buy. All right, this is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com. I went over KSS today, the continuation gap, the nice, beautiful move today on the 26th of December of 2012. Lovely, lovely call that I made weeks ago that this thing was lower, and really nice in the gap, and just I love reading charts. So watch for this next area in this thing. It's lower still. So if you have any questions, email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. Thank you and have a great night.